Hello, I'm here to talk about the benefits of marijuana. First of all, what is marijuana? Marijuana, according to Psychology Today, are the dried up leaves of the natural plant cannabis. Most of you listening to this know it as a drug that people smoke to get high, something that people abuse and makes them lazy, and all types of negative things that it does, which is true. There are plenty of negative things that marijuana does to you. Though being a drug and having its negative effects, there are good things, even great, people would say. Two states, the states of Colorado and Washington, have already legalized it, citing medical benefits, and not only medical benefits, economic reasons, a boost to their economy. Now, before I get into the good and bad of this, let's talk about the history of it. According to the Chinese text dating back to 1578 AD, they used to use it to treat things such as vomiting, infections, hemorrhaging, and even today it's used to stimulate an appetite as well as helping with diarrhea. Some recent history, according to the CNN documentary by Sanjay Gupta in 2013. For decades ago, medical marijuana, doctors would prescribe it regularly to their patients, but that all changed in the 1930s. A man named Harry Anslinger was the commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. He was the first drug seizure in our country. In the practice of prescribing medical marijuana or marijuana to his patients, all changed in 1930s. He made marijuana public enemy number one. Now, Carl Hart, a professor of psychiatry at the Columbia University, implies that the reason for this was that he wanted a way to make his department bigger. He wanted to grow his department. Now, to me, that sounds very selfish. Now, he did this by using propaganda, using writings, even the movie some of you probably have heard called Reefer Madness. Now, Reefer Madness goes on to convey a message that will make you think that people who smoke marijuana, it makes you go crazy. It'll make you murder people, rape women, these god-awful things, which are just not true. They're just not true. But Harry Anslinger was successful, and in 1937, marijuana became illegal, which we know today as, some of those awful things that the message that he conveyed were just false. They were false, completely false. According to Jocelyn Elders, a medical doctor and former U.S. general in 2004, says that the evidence is overwhelming that marijuana has benefits, including relieving pain, nausea, vomiting, and helps with illnesses such as scoliosis, cancer, and even AIDS. And marijuana does so safely. Let me say that again. Safely. She also says it's much less toxic than drugs that are prescribed by physicians every single day. Let me say that again. It's safer, it's less toxic than drugs prescribed every single day. How can this be? How can this be something that's safer, less toxic, helps people, it's proven, be illegal? How can this be? Medical doctor Lester Greenspoon from Harvard Medical School says that there is very little evidence, if any at all, that marijuana represents a significant health risk. That's interesting. With marijuana being smoked widely now for decades, there has been zero, according to Lester Greenspoon, zero cases of lung cancer or emphysema attributed to marijuana. Let me say that again. 0. Now, some disagree, such as the British Lung Foundation that found in its studies that 3 to 4 joints a day has the same effect as 20 tobacco cigarettes, which cause acute bronchitis. Now, that being true, is scary. We don't want to develop medical problems that will lead to me having bronchitis or lung cancer. But one thing we can do, we can all agree that there's pros and cons to everything in life. Everything. And this being no exception. But we cannot deny the truth. And the truth is marijuana can help people. It can. There's people I know. There's people you know, I'm sure, that it's helped with many things, from appetite to helping with pain. Again, let's go back to what the former Surgeon General said. Marijuana is safer, less toxic than the drugs prescribed every day by physicians. Now, I believe we can all agree, marijuana, it's time to change, and it's time to make marijuana legal medically everywhere.